Hello, how's it going? In today's video, I'm covering the Drums of War, the Price of Fell Magic, the Twilight's Hammer, and the Dying World from Chronicle Volume 2. So let's go! BlackHand'S first order as Warchief was for his Blackrock Masons to construct a new capital in Western Tanaan Jungle, a big citadel that would act as neutral ground for the clans. The chieftains could have brain trust meetings there. This citadel would also house the Horde's warlocks. They could practice their skills and teach apprentices the ways of fell magic. Also, the Shadow Council made this citadel their new headquarters. However, nobody knew about this, because nobody knows about the Shadow Council. BlackHand also set down some rules to give the Horde a bit more structure. Up to this point, the Orcs' attacks on the Draenei had been kinda dumb. They'd just run in and start hitting stuff. BlackHand knew the strengths and weaknesses of each clan, and he gave them each a specific role. Smaller clans would act as scouts, raiders, and auxiliary forces. These clans included the Bleeding Hollow, the Dragonmaw, the Shattered Hand, the Thunderlords, the Shadow Moon, and the Bone Chewers. BlackHand also created a new clan, the Blacktooth Grin clan. These were soldiers handpicked by BlackHand himself and would serve as scouts for the Blackrocks. The rest of the clans made up the Horde's main fighting force. These guys would lead direct assaults on Draenei holdings. Clans of note were the Blackrocks, obviously, the Warsongs, and the Frostwolves. But some Orcs didn't take kindly to an outsider telling them what to do. However, BlackHand did eventually gain their support, sometimes by offering more power, but most of the times, he'd just slap them about a bit. He was a tyrant, and he dealt with insubordination with slaps. Also, he'd execute anyone that spoke out against him, but mainly slaps. To maintain order and discipline, BlackHand surrounded himself with mighty lieutenants. The greatest of them were Eitrig, Orgrim Doomhammer, and Varrock Sourfang. They oversaw the Blackrock's war machine as it churned to life. Black smoke blotted out the sun as the Blackrocks crafted thousands of new weapons, armour, and siege engines for the Horde. In order to strengthen the Horde further, BlackHand offered a place in his army to the Ogres and Mok'Nathal. He also tasked the Warlocks with imbuing even more little kid Orcs with fell magic, so they got big and strong real fast. Most Orc chieftains embraced this, but Juritan wasn't a big fan. The thought of young Frostwolves being subjected to this strange magic was just bang out of order. But again, he didn't speak out, for the good of his clan. And it wasn't just this brutal empowerment technique that was bothering him. He'd also noticed something even more unsettling. Fell magic was making Orcs green. Splotchy and green. Nobody likes green. This was a dire sign, and only affirmed that this power had sinister origins. The rest of the Orcs were like, big whoops, what's the big deal? Meanwhile, in the catacombs beneath Nagrand, the Pale were flourishing. Their dark power rivaled even fell magic in potency. Gul'dan heard rumours about them and he didn't really give a crap. But Kil'jaeden was intrigued, so he asked Gul'dan to go check it out. After all, this power could be of use in defeating the Draenei. Gul'dan was like, yeah sure, I'll get right on that. And then he just sent cho'gall to go check it out instead. He advised him if they're as powerful as the rumours claim, bring them into the Horde. Cho'gall, being the arrogant sod that he is, didn't come up with some sneaky plan to observe the Pale. He just went right to them. He had expected a bit of a fight, but they just kinda stood there and looked at him, and started going on about some prophecy involving the hour of twilight. Shadow would envelop the universe and snuff out all life in existence or something. And Cho'gall was like, great. Very much like his complete disinterest in the Burning Legion's crusade, he didn't care all that much about this prophecy either. However, he did like the shadow magic on display. It would be a potent weapon for the Horde. So he informed them all that the Horde could give them a hand with bringing about the Hour of Twiglets, or whatever it's called. The Pale were really excited about this, so they joined up with the Horde and formed a new clan called the Twilight's Hammer. Over time, Cho'gall mastered shadow magic and began to see the truth in their weird prophecy. Eventually, he's going to devote himself to their quest. As the Horde toppled many Draenei settlements and strongholds, the Draenei's morale was understandably quite a bit low. But it wasn't just the defeats. They'd also finally put two and two together and realised this was the Burning Legion's doing. I mean, the signs were everywhere at this point. Warlocks, fell magic, green Orcs, also forests were dying and stuff. You know, subtle things. Thellum was a little bit upset. He and the Exarchs had a brain trust meeting to try and figure out what to do. They had no way of leaving the planet. There really was only one choice, and it wasn't a great one. Let's hold off the Horde's onslaught and just kinda hope the Burning Legion don't follow up with a full-scale invasion. Fantastic plan. The Draenei leadership knew they couldn't defend all of their outlying settlements, so they ordered their forces to withdraw to Shattrath and the Temple of Karabor. The priority was now to fortify those two cities. Meanwhile, Draenor's native elemental spirits had been observing everything, and they were a little bit annoyed. Not only had this fell magic dampened their power, but it was killing the planet. So they all looked at each other and said, should we all just run into each other really fast and become one giant powerful being? The answer was yes! This being was called Cyruk, the Fire Lord, pretty much as powerful as Ragnaros, and he wants to kill some Orcs. And we're leaving it there! That ending came out of nowhere, right? Like the elements have just been watching this entire time and decide, right, now's the moment we should form a Megazord. In the next Volume 2 video, Cyruk dies. Oh god, I love that so much. Also, Karabor becomes the Black Temple. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. Thanks very much for watching, and see ya!